Every picture tells a story, but what about the person behind the camera?
If you have a laptop, a clear laptop, as at this 2024, you can set up a studio. Once you know how to snap, you can rent a camera, book up a job, rent a camera, rent a studio, shoot at the end of the day, go to your laptop and edit. The client doesn't even want to know if you use the equipment or not. You can even persuade your client to make use of a hotel or a lounge, a bar. They launch those places and at the end of the day you shoot in that places. Unlike then, you don't do that. You just have to work to occasion, look for someone to book you before you go out. Even studio wasn't even recognized.
I sat down with JBoy, a Nigerian photographer who quickly turned passion into a business and knows what it takes to stand out in this industry. But from almost getting shot in the line of duty,
they came to shoot you. I'm telling you, the guy was like, if you mess up here, I will shoot and write petition against you. Nobody will know. In fact, I'm not with my uniform. I'm serious.
To making crazy money from a single shoot.
For a wedding, close to $1 million.
Is it just to snap or to record?
Yes, to cover the wedding, provide a photo book, provide.
This is what it takes to be the man behind the camera.
So how did you get started? I mean, what's your story, by the way?
During my secondary school, there was a junior colleague of mine, also a brother. I saw him one of these days, came to our school recording. I loved that passion. I was like, young boy at the age of around 13.
Okay, he brought a camera to your school?
Yes, brought a camera to the school, started recording over, I think we were over like 300 students.
Wow.
So you being figured out as a photographer, it was something huge. So I said to myself, I love this business. So after my secondary school, I went up to my master, started, learned for over 2 to 3 years. Then I started my own.
From what you are saying, at some point in time, you picked up an interest in photography.
Yes.
But what was it like growing up? Like, what was your family background like?
We are about 14 children.
14?
Yeah, 14 children.
Okay.
My mother happened to be the first wife.
Wow.
And I happened to be the last born of my mother.
Wow.
So you're saying it's not something that is easy.
Yeah.
In our house, once you finish up your secondary school, your university, it's not something you have to depend on your parents. Okay. It can just be a support.
No, I'm asking because looking at your photography outfit, one will mistake you as someone who was born with a silver spoon.
No, it's not true. I was born into a family where we grew up as a farmer. My father and my mother is a farmer. There was a time when I started this photography, I have to even hustle with bike.
Oh.
I have to do bike.
So you're a bike man at some point?
At a point. After my mother got me my first camera, I won't forget, she did that for me in 2013.
Wow.
So I had to set up myself. I started with D14, which are about 73,000.
As at that time?
As at that time, 2013 February.
Wow.
So after that, I have to get a bike for myself. The first bike I bought was 18,000.
18,000, and the camera was how much?
The camera was 73,000.
And the bike was 18,000.
I have to hustle with that bike early in the morning and night, then daytime, still go to my master, help me to snap in school. After I got to my camera, I have to.
Okay, you're serving under somebody?
Yes, I don't have my own studio yet, so I have to help me to run it. It was taking 70%, while I was taking 30%, even with my own camera. Yeah. Then during the daytime, I hustle with my bike.
So like how long have you been running your business? I
have been running the business over a decade now, since 2013. I got admission in 2014/15. Before that 2014-15, I happened to have a stand in AAU. In May campus. So I started over there, got up money. I finally set up my brand, set up the studio 2018. I think I've gotten out about 18 to 20 cameras.
20?
Yeah. I do change cameras. I also deal on the rentage.
Oh, okay.
I rent our cameras, yes. I have one of the highest camera in this island. And I think I got my drone 2019. Okay. I was the first person to have a drone in this island too. That was Phantom 4.
And how much was it then?
Around four something, I can't remember. Okay. I think 480 thereabouts. I was also the first person to have a gimbal in this island too. Yeah. I also rented that. I don't deal on videos, but I got those equipment.
So I
rent them out.
Some Guinness Book
of course. I was the youngest photographer to have a camera as of 2013.
Wow.
I was the youngest. Okay. Those that have a camera then, it was lab who purchased the camera for them as higher purchase.
Okay.
Be they get it for you at the 73,000 you buy, you pay them 100,000, 120 depends after 1 year. Thereabout. I'm also the youngest to have a lab.
Okay.
In Eastern. I got that 2 years ago.
What's a lab?
Photographers understand the terms.
Okay.
Where you cut off your frames, you join them, you print, then also photo book. The photographer will snap their wedding, they will bring it for you. You combine it together and make it a photo book.
Okay, so not many photographers had a lab as at that time.
No, I don't even think. As it is now, we only have 2 labs.
Yeah.
In Ekpoma currently, so it's just 2 of us.
So you own one of them?
Yes, I own one of them, and one of my colleagues owns one too.
So what's it like building a business in Nigeria?
It's not easy, especially when you are dealing with equipment which have to be imported to Nigeria. It's something else due to our exchange rate.
So you
Getting this,
equipment.
getting all these gadgets, cameras, lens, sub-bus, and the rest. Make sure that they are all something they import. And at the end of the day, with exchange rate, something else to us. Maybe it's something you are supposed to get, let's say like $50 or $10,000 thereabout. When you convert it to Nigeria rate, you know what that means.
Yeah, sure.
At the end of the day, when you get a lens of about 2 million naira, 2.something million, getting it. There's a lens I just got of recent, 1.something million, I think about 1.3 million. Then getting the camera, the lens is even more expensive than the camera. And at the end of the day, being in Nigeria, they price you at a cheaper rate. Someone is calling to come and do shoots, certain amount, which you know you cannot even afford any of your gadgets. And when we talk about the insecurity, my former office, I've been busted twice.
Wow.
I've been robbed twice.
Wow.
I think the last time they came to rob me cost me about 1.6 million equipment.
Wow.
Yeah. My camera.
After the way with your cameras.
Yes, my camera, my laptop, memory cards and the rest. The other time I was going to Benin for a shoot, I was stopped by police, or they stop and search.
Yeah.
So I showed my ID card. I have a business ID card. I also belongs to a union. I showed them everything. They refused me. I said I must provide a receipt of a laptop.
Okay, this plainclothes policeman.
Yes, plainclothes. I think only 1 or 2 was on uniform. The rest was no uniform. The guy was like, if you mess up here, I will shoot and write petition against you. Nobody will know. In fact, I'm not with my uniform. I'm serious. I was going there. It was a late journey. I think to 10. I was going to Benin. I had a shoot that day. Okay. I didn't close the time. I had to still go to Benin for another shoot. I think this work have actually taken me to about 12 to 15 states in Nigeria. Okay. Yeah, I have tried.
Okay, so I mean, a lot of people are interested in photography. Yeah. You understand? But when they look at your gadgets, I mean, your lights, your cameras, and all that. So, and it's obviously costs a lot of money. Yes. So now, what do you have to say to people who are waiting to start until they have a lot of money?
If you are waiting to get a bigger camera like me or a bigger equipment like me before you set up your whole brand, I don't think you will ever start. Getting equipment currently now to set up a bigger studio, you can't go anything less than 5 to 10 million.
And not everybody can afford that.
And not everybody. So my advice, like I always tell most of these young photographers who don't come to me for advice, I always tell them money is not the number one thing. Though it's a more the criteria, but it's not the number one criteria. Your impact matters. Thank God, I think in this region, I make it easier for a younger self of mine, younger photographers, like, you don't have to get all this equipment. So I own all this equipment. Come and rent them, go out for business, take at least 2 to 3. For like 1 year, if you know what you are doing, you're able to save money. You can set up your studio.
Okay.
You don't need to have the money to get this equipment directly. Easily, no.
Now let's talk about figures. What's like the largest amount you've made on a shoot?
I have made close to about 300,000 on my clients.
Just one client?
Yes.
For one studio session?
Yes, a studio session for a musical.
Wow.
Yeah, so he needed a cover brass. For a wedding, close to $1 million.
$1 million?
Yeah, close to $1 million.
Is it just to snap or to record?
Yes, to cover the wedding, provide a photo book, provide.
I can see you have a lot of ideas. I mean, you've trained a lot of people, you've equally put a lot of people out there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, photography is something that evolves, and obviously you are evolving. But then where do you see yourself, or where do you see your brand in the next 5 years?
I will be bigger, like expand in terms of equipment, get the latest equipment, and also move into different states, set up a studio, if possible, outside the country.
Wow.
So that has been my aim. I just want to take the passion out of this country, move to another country, learn. My passion is to actually be a big photographer, not just a common photographer. I want to have a degree. I study business in education.
They are two different things.
So it's a different thing.
Okay.
So because of the passion I have photography, I choose to move my career to photography. So I'm planning on having a degree under photography.
I can imagine, I mean, you started up in 2013, which is over a decade.
Yeah.
So I can imagine the way things were then and now obviously different.
Exactly.
So I'm asking as someone who wants to go into photography, if I was to set up my brand in 2024, or if you were to set up your brand in 2024, what would you do differently?
To set up a brand in 2024 would be more easier than
It was
2013 or 2012 when we probably started our own, because as at then you don't have equipment to rent.
Okay.
As 2024 we are now, you can get any equipment you want to rent.
Okay.
I can probably go to a friend's studio where I'll pay for an hour, make use of the studio, snap like what people do here. They come here, I charge per hour, I charge a photographer per hour.
Okay.
It's a certain amount. Okay, do the shoot you want to do. Even if you spend 2 to 3 hours, I will tell you the amount. Then take it. If you have a laptop, a clear laptop, as at this 2024, you can set up a studio.
Wow.
Once you know how to snap,
Okay.
once you understand the job. Why do I say that? You can rent a camera, book up your job, rent a camera, rent a studio, shoot at the end of the day, go to your laptop and edit.
Okay.
A client doesn't even want to know if you use the equipment or not.
Yeah.
All they just need, I want to
the
make
job
use of studio.
Okay.
You can even persuade your client to make use of a hotel or a lounge, a bar. They lodge those places, and at the end of the day, you shoot to that places. Unlike then, you don't do that.
Yeah.
You just have to work to occasion, look for someone to book you before you go out. Even studio wasn't even recognized. Okay. So even if you have a bigger phone, 14, 15, you can go out, take your shot. As long as you're a photographer, you already master it.
Yeah.
Take your shot, go to laptop, edit. There are some app online which will help you nowadays to do your editing. You can even have your Photoshop in your phone, do your editing. Okay. So starting up a studio now,
it'll be a lot easier.
It's more easier as it was in 2013.
Imagine starting out as a bike rider and ending up fulfilling your dream of becoming a professional photographer. This proves that success isn't about where you start, but how far you are willing to go. If you need a professional photographer for your events, I've linked JBoy's pages in the description below. I believe every journey is a story worth telling. So if this sounds like something you would enjoy, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one.